one of the best ways to learn is to teach.
Welcome to Circle Live. Today we're talking to Sam Crawford of the Six Figure Design Club about adding education to your business portfolio, learning from your students, and believing in yourself and what you have to offer. Stay with us. We're talking about education this month, and you have run the Six Figure Design Club for the past few years and grown it to something that I think has touched so many lives. I know so many people who've gone through it. They've made the money, they got the champagne, they've been able to show a lot for it. Tell me, what was sort of the turning point where you realized you wanted to add this educational offering to your business?
It was kind of just literally one day I was working on a client project and I was like, wouldn't it be cool if I could teach people how to do this? And I had this like internal monologue. I was like, if I teach everything I do, I wonder if people will just like take all my work. And then it's been completely the opposite. Like, it's just gone from strength to strength. As you say, we've got so many people that have gone through, and yet we've grown alongside it. So I found, like, as I was teaching these principles, I was kind of internalizing them even more and helping myself grow. And it's just been, it's been one of the best things I've ever done.
Yeah, I mean, they say that teaching is one of the most fulfilling things that you can do.
Honestly, like when you see people come through and they're like, basically when you sort of complete it or you hit your first like six-figure sort of year, people fill in the form and they give all the details, and I'll read through that and I'll be like, that's through my program. It's such an amazing feeling that like client projects can't give you that. Like seeing someone's growth from a lot of people just come from zero and they come all the way through. It's like there's literally nothing like it.
I imagine a big part of it, too, is getting people to believe in themselves, because it's quite a hefty promise, the six figures, right? I'm sure that that's part of the bargain, is that somebody also, in addition to having the skills, they have to believe that they can achieve that goal.
I actually think that's like a bigger thing than having all the systems, is just believing. So it's one, like, people will come in and they'll be like, oh, I saw you were doing it, but that's you. Like, oh, I'm not you. And people have this internal dialogue before like they've even tried. They'll see other designers hitting it from, let's say, within the course. They see a video interview, or they'll see like a written review or whatever, and then they go, oh, so other people are actually doing this. It's like, it can be done. And it sort of turns a switch. And then a lot of things like within the course is just sort of giving someone permission to say, hey, you can charge that. Like, you can do that. So it's not even like, a lot of it is giving people more skills and systems, but for the most part, it's just giving people permission to say, hey, you don't have to have a cap. It's self-imposed. And as soon as someone realizes that, they could watch 10 minutes and go, oh, okay, I can do it. And then they're away. It's such a strange thing, but I've noticed it in so many people. It's just like they needed permission to sort of trust themselves.
That probably has to be the most fulfilling aspect of it, is watching somebody change. So could you give us a couple of examples of people that, you don't have to name names, but just some of your favorite examples of students that you've seen grow over the course of the course?
Honestly, without sounding corny, there's been so many, but there's like, I would say maybe 4 that stand out. So we've got, I'll name him because he won't mind it. So Nick, so he runs Design by NC.
Yeah.
He came through, he lives in the same city as me.
Yeah. And works with you, right?
Yeah, lives in the same building.
Yeah.
He saw like an Instagram ad that was running, and he was like, oh, he's got the same accent as me. That's like wild.
Which accent is that?
The Scouse accent.
Scouse, okay.
Scouse accent.
I wanted to clarify for our audience.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
In case they know. Any other Scouses out there,
Shout out to the Scouses.
Yeah.
So he was like, oh, that's strange. Let me follow him. Came through, and he was like, oh, I looked in a Starbucks once and you were in there. And I was like, starstruck, he's actually real. I was like, no way. So anyway, he came in, and at the time I was doing like one-to-one coaching. So he's since told me he like put all of his money into one-to-one coaching. He's like, I had like £100 left. Came through that, quit his job. Then he earned like what he earned in a year, in a month, within I think 18 months or so. Now he does ton of projects for us, obviously just like living his best life. There's another one that I'm really proud of. So we've got a lady in the course, and she was like, oh, I need to earn X amount so she had a dream home, and she was like, I need to earn X amount to keep the home. And she came in, again, a pretty chunky investment, and then she's earning and earning to, I think she's actually kept the home. And she put a message in the group, and I was like tearing up. I was like, this is the most wholesome thing that I've seen. It's not just like, when you think about make money courses, it's like, oh, a certain type of, guy comes in, oh, I'm going to make all this money. But like,
right,
there's so many different people doing it for so many different reasons. And it's just amazing
right.
to see.
Yeah, I think when people see a promise like that, they don't believe it. But you obviously believed it enough to name it that. What made you think that you had figured out what it was?
I had so many ideas on what to call it, and I was like, what's like the most obvious thing to call this so no one can misconstrue what this is about? And I was like, okay, this is very on the nose, but Six Figure Design Club, and I turned that name into the promise, which is your first 10K month within 12 months. And I don't know what made me believe it. I guess because I was doing it all. I've been doing it at the time, maybe 3 or 4 years, and I did it alone from zero. I wasn't even a web designer or trained in design or anything. And I just sort of was like, oh, this could be cool. Let me explore it more. Oh, this is a really fruitful avenue. Like, let me try this. Like, no sort of training, and I got there and was continuing to grow and grow. And I thought, well, if I can do it, like, surely so many other people can do it. Like me as a case study, you don't have to be sort of like classically trained in design. You can sort of teach yourself the principles of design, the principles of business. And once you have that, you only have to solve for lead flow and execution and client management. And then I just sat for a couple of weeks and like recorded the whole thing, like brain dump, just Loom videos. Here's exactly like behind the scenes. Everything was templatized. And I was just like, this has to be a success. At first, actually, it wasn't. I remember I was on holiday, and I was like, oh, right, launch. And I turned to Lucy, my girlfriend, and I was like, this is gonna be the thing. And like, it was just crickets at the launch. So what I did was I like personally emailed everyone on the list. So I'd sent out like through email campaigns, I'd sent out like a bulk email, and then still no one came through. So I had to individually go, hey, I promise this isn't part of a sequence. Saw you're on the wait list. Why didn't you join? And then people started joining, and we've got people who are still laughing about that now. There's a guy, Brian, he always like says, I can't believe you had to beg me to join. This is crazy. Like, him looking back over 3 years, what he's done.
What have you learned about your business in the process of developing this club, this thing that you've done, this educational thing?
I think the best way to get better at something is like teaching it. And I started picking up things as I was like writing down all the notes and recording things. I was like, actually, I could tighten up this process in my own business. I could take my own advice, because it's all well and good me giving advice to people, but if I would notice like small holes in my process that I'm telling people to do, but I'm not actually doing day to day. And so what I did was I've done this a couple of times now. I'll watch, it's a bit cringy, but I'll watch all the seminars back, and I'll be like, okay, that's a good reminder to do this and to do this. And it's also a good reminder for me just to be like, okay, have I strayed from the process, or is there anything that I need to update? Like, I've gone back and I've updated course content because things have changed within my own business. I also find like the students sometimes will bring an idea to me, and I'm like, that's genius. Like, we went on an in-person retreat to Malaga a couple of months ago now, and we were all...
I've heard about this retreat. It is a legendary retreat.
Man, it was amazing.
And by the way, a little sad we didn't get an invite, but I understand you're trying to keep things professional.
Next one.
I
promise. I'm gonna send an office-wide invite. But yeah, we were up all till 2-3 in the morning. Everyone around this table, working on stuff, showing each other all the designs. Oh, what are you doing for business? Blah blah blah. And there was one of the students there, and she was working on basically, how do we get from brief to first pass of a website quicker? And she was showing me this process, and I was like, no way. How have I never seen this way to do it? And so I literally, that night, I pitched about 40 cold leads with this new way of doing stuff. I was like, this has to work. Literally next day, we had 5 responses. Over the next couple of days, it went up to 10, 20. And just from sort of looking at her in person, what she was doing, I was like, oh, this is something I'd never even thought of. So it's cool now. Obviously, at the start, it was me sort of preaching, this is the way, and it works. But when students put their own interpretation on things, sometimes they'll bring ideas back to me. I'm like, okay, this is a game changer. I mean, we have over 200 students now. And so obviously there's going to be lots of different ways of doing it. And so I'm getting things I've never even thought of, which is just, it's amazing.
Yeah, something so Socratic about that you put yourself in a position of leadership, but you listen to the community and you allow things to be open and allow for the education to come both ways. Have you felt yourself changing? Like you said that you've learned some things, but is there a specific example of on the business side of things that you're like, it's changed the way that you work with clients?
The big thing that I used to preach is you can get to 6 figures as a solopreneur and you can scale beyond that and you don't need a team. Now I hit a ceiling.
Yeah.
Obviously it comes way after sort of, I don't know, let's say 300, 400K, whatever.
I remember the last time we had you on Circle Live, we have you on record saying, I only work alone. I don't work with any, I'm a lone wolf.
Yeah. I feel like once you hit a specific ceiling, then it makes sense to start to build a team.
Yeah.
And so what I've done is I've adjusted basically, because I still believe that if you want to get to, that level, you can do it solo. What's this saying? It's you want to go fast, go alone. You want to go far, go together. Something like that, which is kind of what I ran into. It's you can speed run up to there and, a little bit above. But then if you want something sustainable and you want to grow crazy, then you need to hire the right people. And so that requires its own sort of operating system, its own set of rules to play by. You have to find the right people. You have to have team management, client management, all of this. And so through talking to people sort of within the group, getting their ideas, again, applying that into my business, I've been able to almost build a completely different business to the one that, got me here. And so what I've tried to do is do more sort of live sessions with the students. Obviously, I did these in-person seminars when we went away, sort of going through, I have a whole thing on YouTube now, got a completely different sort of team management system, updated some of the templates, but it's always changing, always getting iteratively better. And I think a big part of that is having people ask me questions about the course content and me then having to come back and think a bit more deeply about it.
What you're talking about here is really impressively how you've been able to build an entire funnel that works. And from what I understand, it's all on Squarespace.
Literally,
yeah,
all of it. You'll have lead magnet landing pages, which would be a email newsletter block. On the back end, you would have a automation that sends a PDF to someone through email campaigns. And then the whole list is tagged on email campaigns, literally since day one. Before email campaigns even got its huge upgrade, I was setting up sequences on there. I remember I did it's a 6-month sequence, and you had to set it up manually at the time. And I'm looking at it now, because there was a whole update, wasn't there? Loads of new features got rolled out where you could do sequences. And I remember back in the day making all of these, and I would religiously check, who's opened it. I'd go through all the emails, who's opened it, who's clicked. So all of that goes through campaigns. All the video content is within courses, all hosted on Squarespace. And then we have So if someone becomes a six-figure earner, then they can apply for a bottle of personalized champagne or a personalized trophy. So we have the forms there. If someone wants to do that, they go through the form, and then we have we give away a certificate as well. So once you go through the full course, you can essentially take this huge quiz. It's like 40 questions, and it's like if you get 100%, you'll get your certificate. So that's just another form.
Are they hard questions?
Yeah, let's see. So they're hard enough that you have to be paying attention.
Okay, yeah.
And I have lots of like buzzwords in there that people need to remember.
Yeah.
And so if they get them all right, they get the certificate. And again, all of that comes through Squarespace. And I mean, I've been doing this for 3 years, because I remember when I had the wait list, it was before course. Was it before members areas was even a thing? And I was like, I have no idea I'm going to host this on Squarespace, but I was like, I want to have the site, like the landing page there. I want to have the lead magnets, the email campaigns, the forms, but then I also want to host all the course contents, because for me, I was like, well, if I don't have the course in there, then it's not quite a connected experience. I can't like have someone check out and then go straight into a dashboard. I'll have to like redirect them somewhere. And then it was like, I think 1 or 2 months into the wait list when I was like sending out all the emails, trying to get feedback and stuff. And then Squarespace rolled out, they rolled out memberships, and I was like, this is a sign. I've got to roll it out. So literally spent like a couple of weeks recording, set it all up, uploaded it all, and launched it.
Together with the fact that member areas came out at exactly the right time, and you had the right name for the course that got enough people in. Do you believe in luck?
Yeah, I do. But I also believe that you make your own luck.
Okay.
So like, it's funny. We were on the retreat, and on the last day, I was like, so there's a few of us, like as people start.
This was the Six-Figure Design Club retreat, where you're at the long table in, where were you?
In Malaga.
Malaga, okay, yeah.
So a few of us, like 5 of us, went to a co-working spot, and I was like, oh guys, this has been like best holiday ever, bar New York now, obviously. But I was like, oh, I'm so motivated to like do even better with the course, like bring out more stuff. And I got a ping from GoDaddy. So the domain that we had was sixfiguredesign.club, because someone else had the domain, and they never launched the course, but like she had it, and she'd been trying to I've been trying to buy it, and she'd been trying to sell me at like 10 times what I offered. And I got a ping while we were in the co-working office waiting to go back to the airport. It's from GoDaddy saying, hey, sixfiguredesignclub.com is available. And I was like, no way. Like this is the side to just keep going all in on this.
Someone else actually in our community who was just our last guest, Maria Wynn. She, I believe, was at that table retreat. But she's sort of the opposite. She's kind of a like, chill down, like work hard, but make sure you make time for yourself. I think that you've reported to us before that you don't make a lot of time for yourself. You like to just work a lot. I want to know, have you been able to, you're here on vacation now, have you been able to make some more time for yourself? Has this allowed you to maybe be a little bit more chill?
Yeah, do you know what? I think maybe it's entering, my 30s, but I've found, especially now that I've got a team that I can delegate more things to, I can be more intentional with like, oh, I'm going to do a burst of work in the morning, then I'll take a bit of time, sort of mid-morning into the afternoon to, let's say, go to the gym or play tennis or, whatever, just take a bit of time for me. And then, see, the thing is, I enjoy work. If I'm not, let's say, on a call or strategizing or whatever it may be, I'm like, kind of get itchy, itchy feet, and I'm trying to find the next thing to focus on. But especially being in New York, I've probably done, I don't know, maybe 4 or 5 hours a day, just in small little bursts, like a little bit in the morning, a little bit in the evening. When I've got things to like actively do, like I've played football a few times, and we've gone shopping, gone to restaurants and stuff like that, and I've not checked my phone, obviously not got the laptop out in the restaurant. So it's been good. I think I'm one of those people who likes to be occupied. I do try and put a little bit of time aside just to think. So like a big thing that I'll do is I'll get like an A1 sheet of paper and I'll just kind of stare at it until some ideas come and I'll just like draft a ton of ideas and then maybe spend an hour just with the sheet of paper, and then maybe there'll be like one good idea out of like 100 and I'll go, okay, now I can type that up and get back to work. But yeah, I think for me, again, I like to schedule it. I can't just be like, oh, I'm going to be impromptu and get this sheet of paper out. It has to be like, Sam, you're going to think at 9 p.m. People are probably watching this going, Sam, that's insane. But just the way that my brain works.
It's a particular style. That's just...
Yeah, it's a style.
Yeah.
It's a style.
Your style. Everybody's talking about AI. Are you teaching AI at all?
So this was one of the things that I got on the retreat. So one of the students, she was building really quick mock-ups, like HTML wireframes using AI. And I was like, this is crazy. Because I had always thought AI is like just nowhere near what a pro can do. And it isn't, because most people, it's like garbage in, garbage out. If you give it like a really naff prompt, it will give you something very generic back. But just to get proof of concept, like really quickly, if you have an idea in your head and you want to just get like just something really MVP out across to a client, it's really, really, it was very surprising. So I've been doing that, and then if a client likes the look of it, then we'll go back to the proper process and do like Figma wireframes and then build into Squarespace, like, you know, a proper site. But that in particular has been unreal for the guys inside the course. So we done like a live demo of how this could look. So hey, here's your brief, here's your design cues. It's not going to be a proper website. It's just going to be something you can send across really quick. Because I have a lot of clients, and a lot of the guys have these sort of clients, is they'll say, I'll know it when I see it. Like, they just need to see something. Like, do you understand my industry? Do you understand what we do? Are you grasping this? It's all well and good you just going, yeah, of course I do. But if you can just show them something really quick, they're going to be like, wow. And that's how I, got so many responses. I don't believe it will ever be like a replacement for good design. Sometimes, like for instance, with when I'm writing emails, I still like to write them like a normal human. So I don't know if you've had this, but when you get someone who's like clearly just written an AI response, I'm like, it feels like I'm speaking to a bot. So there's places where I think it makes sense just to not use AI. And I try not to overuse it because I feel like it brings me too far away from the process. But it's been an eye-opener, to be honest.
This is always a great conversation. I'm thrilled that you were in town. Sam Crawford, please come back anytime. I'd love to have you again on Circle Live, in person or online.
Thank you very much.